I'm Pete White.
I'm Stephen Mowry.
This is John Fitch.
I'm George Griffin.
I'm Michael Davis.
Hey everybody, this is Island Fight CEO Dean.
Hello world, what's up everyone? This is Dave from the Fight Bananas podcast. What's up guys? We are crazy about fights. It's time. The man, the myth, the legend, Dean Toole himself. Saturday night, Dean Toole Promotions. Are you live out? Masvidal versus Pettis. Supreme Patty's debut boxing. Let's get into it. Let's talk to him about everything. Mr. Dean Toole. All right, guys, this is Dave from the Fight Bananas podcast. We are on the line. This is it. It's Saturday. It's no more saying the date. The weigh-ins are tomorrow. The fight is this Saturday. Dean Toole Promotions. Mr. Dean Toole, how you doing, my man?
I am good. How are you doing?
Doing great, brother. Doing great. I'm getting ready. The suitcase is packed. I'm making that drive, that beautiful I-10 drive to Pensacola Beach, Florida.
You're not taking the chopper?
No, not yet.
Not yet.
I'm thinking Island Fights 58, August 2nd for the chopper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir. But okay, man. It's fight week. The weigh-ins tomorrow. The show is Saturday. You put in countless hours. How did all this come to fruition? And are you just ready to be fight day?
Well, every promoter in the world would be lying if they're ready for it to be fight day, because every promoter on earth wishes they had like 1 more week, 2 more weeks. That's what every promoter really wishes. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited for every single bout on the card, all the way from the Southeast Submission Classic that Trey Alidor and Sammy Collingwood are putting together. That's going to be amazing. Some of the best people in the whole entire region, if not the country, are going to be competing in those super fights starting at 3:30. That'll run until 5:30. And then the Dean Toole Promotions card, it's MMA, boxing, and kickboxing. And then I believe at between the hours of 7 and 7:30, the undercard, about four or five fights will be ran for free on the RU Live app before the pay-per-view starts at 7:30 Central Time. And then, of course, we'll get pretty much one of the coolest cards you'll ever get to see. So.
It's incredible. It really is. No smoke. It's headlined by Jorge Masvidal and Anthony Showtime Pettis. I've been talking about it for weeks. That fight could headline any arena in any combat sports in the world. Literally the world. And it's there in Pensacola Beach at the Bay Center. How did this matchup come to be? It's an incredible, incredible matchmaking.
Well, props to Abe with First Round Management, because originally this was just a pay-per-view. I was doing a thing for Patty and some of the amateur fighters on the card. A lot of people aren't really. People locally are talking about SD Dumas, and his opponent Mike Lee, I think is a Combat Night champion and a. What's the other one?
Rise?
It's either Breakthrough MMA or Rise of the Warrior. I think he's like a 2-time champion for 2 separate organizations. And then SD is 9-0. People are calling him the next John Jones, the length, the reach, the fighting style.
Yeah.
And not a lot of people are talking about him, but this was like just a good chance to showcase a lot of the upcoming talent. Everybody from Jada, from Fusion XL, an upcoming talented female prospect. She's fighting Griffin Fisk, who's also an upcoming talented female prospect. We have Michaela Rosati versus Ursi Wallace, which is 2 other coming up female prospects. So the card's filled with everybody. But how it came to fruition is basically I was talking with Abe, telling him a little bit about the card, and I was telling him a little bit about the charity that was involved, which was the Bullyproof Foundation. And it's something that he became very interested in, and we just started brainstorming, like, hey, what if we did Masvidal versus Pettis in a grappling match, and then we just kept adding people. We're already doing the Patty thing, the Supreme Patty fight against Rudy. So it just kind of kept progressing, and we're like, wow. And then I guess Anthony told Abe that he was super excited about working with the Bullyproof Foundation and wanted to do some things further in the future with them. So same with George. So with Masvidal. So they're both really excited about it. Yoel was excited about it. Chris Barnett was excited about it. Everybody's excited. And the whole event is putting eyeballs on all of these young up-and-coming amateurs that would normally not have these eyeballs on them. It's putting eyeballs on this huge charity. It's putting eyeballs on super fights, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu super fights that are becoming very popular these days. It's putting eyeballs on everything. So all of it combined is just pretty awesome.
It is. It sounds like it's a win-win-win for everyone. I talked to SD Dumas just a couple days ago, and future UFC prospect can do humongous things, and he's excited to be on this card and to walk into this arena with sold-out show, Are You Live at, pay-per-view, who knows who's going to be in their crowd, who's going to be watching, what scout, what matchmaker. He's just, he's very, just gratitude to the whole situation, and a great fighter, like you said, versus Mike Lee. That is an insane fight. And you said it, one thing I love about this card, the super fights, MMA fight, boxing fight, kickboxing. You even have the kids. Don't you have Kobe Shields on it?
Yeah, Kobe Shields is on this card versus Blake Piper. Patrick Mooney versus John Camacho. That's another junior. It's either a junior MMA bout or a junior kickboxing match. I forget. But, just awesome talent, great card. Some of the people that we put on here, we were kind of selective when we picked certain people that kind of shined on our last amateur card from Island Fights 50, I think it was 55 maybe, Island Fights 55. So we put people on here that were exciting to watch. We tried to give them at least 2 female bouts, and so far so good. And the craziest thing is, Supreme Patty's fight.
That's what I want to get into. Supreme
it's just crazy.
Patty.
A lot of people some people are being negative, like, how's this guy skipping all these hard-working professionals? I'm like, he's doing an amateur fight. It's his amateur debut. He's not skipping anyone. He's not the main event. He's not the co-main event. He's not the co-main event. He's fighting second on the main card. So, we didn't put him up there ahead of anybody who, if, SD is fighting it after him, So we didn't disrespect anyone or anything that competes in combat sports. This kid had an opportunity to do celebrity boxing, professional MMA in states where you don't need to have 5 sanctioned amateur bouts. He could have turned pro anywhere and just made a huge sack of money without doing it, just like other people in the past have. Mm-hmm. And he said, no, I want to do my amateur fights. I want to do this the right way. And eventually, if I end up turning pro one day, great. He's like, but I'm addicted to this. I quit smoking. I quit drinking. He's lost 38 pounds. He's training with Charles Rosa. He's training with Roy Jones Jr. He's really doing it seriously, and he's taking it. And he said he's never felt as good as in his entire life. So
there you go.
Pretty sweet.
There you go. That's changing people's lives. We're talking about the Bulletproof Foundation, even just Supreme Patty. If we,
and look, win, lose, or draw for Patty is look what you just did.
Yes.
Look at the shape you're in now. There's all these other Instagram stars, rappers, actors, people that act like they're tough and do this and that. It takes the smallest percent of any human to jump in there and actually compete. And especially when you have almost 7 million followers, you have everything to lose. And this guy's going to get in there and do a real fight against somebody who's really fought before. That says a lot about him compared to people that are on the Instagram acting and faking. This dude's really doing it. And at the end of the day, if nothing else goes right for him or anything in this sport, look at the amount of weight he's lost. Look at the type of shape he's in. Maybe this just changes complete lifestyle forever. Same with Rudy. Rudy's getting there's probably people that are talking negative to him the same way they're talking to Patty, but it gives Rudy a platform. If Rudy wins this fight, everyone in the world is going to be talking about Rudy, so it's a good situation for everyone. So
I agree with you, Dean. We just had Rudy on the podcast as well a couple of nights ago. He is excited for this. He knows the opportunity in front of him. He's fought on an Island Fights event. He won that fight, a welterweight MMA fight. So now for him to get this opportunity in boxing and to fight Supreme Patty, one thing we talked about, if he wins this fight, he gets so much what Supreme Patty has built. He gets a lot of those followers. He gets a lot of that love. Anyone that has...
And you know how many people are going to be calling Rudy out?
Yes.
Other, big-time celebrities. You have no idea what doors could open for people, And then, if that happens with Rudy, his life can change forever, If Patty wins, look at the doors that's going to open. You got Jake Paul and all these other people calling him out already, So... maybe Justin Bieber actually does something.
There we go.
There's just so many different options, but
That's
you know,
what
even talking to Patty, he's like, all that stuff's fine and dandy and calling out all these people, but he just wants to do this the right way. He eventually does want to do MMA also, so plan on watching him do some mixed martial arts bouts as well.
Well, I will be excited to see that. We'll definitely be in the area. Hopefully, he is doing it under the Dean Toole Promotions umbrella. Let's just talk about that. He said it. Justin Bieber, he is... Who would have thought, Dean, that Justin Bieber would be the main name the whole week in the mixed martial arts world? But the call out of Tom Cruise in the media, now Supreme Patty's calling him out. What do you think about all this nonsense, craziness, greatness?
Well, it's not. Well, if you understand social media, like really understand it, and behind the scenes, everybody's like, "What an idiot!" calling out Tom Cruise. He's 56 or whatever. Like, it's not an idiot. Look what he just did.
Yeah.
Look what he just did. And then what, today or yesterday, he said he reposted on Twitter, yeah, Tom Cruise would have beat my ass.
Like, he just signed a $3 million
the
deal.
World. The entire world went into an uproar over this. You know? Like, it was the most trending thing there is on the planet because one guy tweets out one thing. Like, just to have that type of power is funny to me, but, like, people take it way too serious.
Of course.
They're all hating, why is he going to do that? Why doesn't he fight a real MMA fighter? You're like, come on, man. If you're a real MMA fighter, you should be worried about fighting who you have to fight coming up. You know, like, don't worry about a tweet from Bieber. That fight's not happening for anybody, okay? No one's getting to fight Conor McGregor, and no one's getting to fight Mayweather. They fight who they want to fight.
Absolutely. Dean, thank you so much for giving your time. I know I got a couple more questions for you. It's fight week. A couple more days. We're hours away from the epic show on the RU Live app. Make sure you download that app. Get the pay-per-view. SD Dumas, you talked about, want to talk about Phil Rowe versus Biggie Rhodes, Mike Rhodes, and I know Mike and Showtime Pettis are are teammates up there for Rufus Sports, so that's going to be an unbelievable fight.
Mike's a UFC vet, too. A lot of people aren't talking about that, you know? He fought in the UFC also. He just won his last fight on LFA a couple of weeks ago. And what's interesting is Phil Rowe's a brown belt, but he trains with Jacare Souza. He trains with Rodolfo. Like, this guy, but then look at
Julian Williams.
Biggie trains with, He trains with Julian Williams. Look at this guy trains with Anthony Pettis. I forget their coach's name, but he's like a world champion. So, I mean, that's going to be an awesome fight. They've been jawing at it back and forth pretty good, so it's been pretty entertaining. So, a couple of the other fights, though, Miles Clark, Jeremiah McIntyre, two talented boxers that are going to be fighting each other. I can't wait to watch that fight. No one's really talking about that one, but I moved that to the pay-per-view card because I know it's going to be a really good one. And then, what's his name? Juan Alvarez.
Yes.
Juan Alvarez is a kid that I think
big-time
potential-wise, I think he's lost a couple fights or maybe one or two, but potential-wise, he's probably one of the things that people in the area I think can go the furthest with mixed martial arts. He has great wrestling. His stand-up's getting a lot better. He's at Deepwater training with Ben Seeley. They got a great camp over there. He trains with SD and I think Logan Woods and Sam Woods and those guys over there. So he's constantly improving, and that kid's going to be a superstar one day, 100%.
There you go.
And he's fighting Michael Peltier, who comes from a great gym also, with Mark Kane. I'm not sure what – I know Michael has I think he has a boxing background. Not sure about like his wrestling background or anything like that. I just have watched Juan compete a little more.
Okay. The last fight we'll want to talk about on this card, and then we'll definitely want to talk about you real quick, and then the future of Dean Toole Promotions, Island Fight, so much more to talk about. Yoel Romero versus Chris Beast Boy Barnett. If you can't get up for this fight, if you're not going to be entertained for this fight, just, watch.
I just want to watch the walkout. I don't think we'll be super entertained just from that. So, they don't even have to compete. Like, you get to watch Chris Barnett make his entrance to the ring.
Yeah.
That's worth the price of admission alone.
Exactly. There you go. And then when he gets there, it's versus Yoel Romero, who put on the
That's not fun. So, like, what if if Chris Barnett gets ankle picked by Yoel Romero, the whole entire ring collapses. Facts.
Oh, my gosh. We did talk about it a little bit. Island Fights 58 on August 2nd. We're so excited for that on UFC Fight Pass. But, Dean, these super
fights...
Maybe
I'll give you a little sneak peek of that card.
Okay. Would you want us
maybe.
now? Or
maybe. And that could be...
Okay. We'll be there.
The return of Cole Miller.
Wow. Here we go, guys. Breaking news. Dean Toole, Island Fights 58. Cole Miller's coming back?
Cole Miller is making his return to MMA. He's probably in the best shape of his life. He used to fight at 145, and he's like walking around at 155. Like he's shredded. I don't know if you've seen a picture of him on his Instagram, but he says he's not in the best shape of his life, but he looks like he's in the best shape of his life because he has his new school in Georgia, and I'm so excited about him being on the card. He's a commentator for us, which is awesome, and so he's gonna main event that event, and also bringing back Jacob Kilburn, and he's fighting Lucas Alexander.
That is,
to me, it could be one of the greatest fights I've ever seen.
That's an insane fight. That's, when they put Ferguson, Donald Cerrone on the card, it wasn't the main event, but just everyone, that was the people's main event. Yeah. Lucas Alexander.
To me, there's important fights, and then there's featured bouts. And to me, the featured bout should be the one that the fans are probably most excited to see. You'll always have a guy who's one fight out from getting in the UFC that you'll co-main event or main event on our shows because we're on Fight Pass. They're one fight out or two fights out, and they're probably going to fight another guy who's like a stud. So you never know. That fight on paper, you think it's such a good fight because they both have great records, but sometimes those turn out to be duds. But stylistically, sometimes you'll match up fights that are going to be like the best fight ever. And Jacob Kilburn versus Lucas Alexander is going to be amazing.
Wow, that is going to be amazing, guys. And that's August 2nd. Island Fights 58. That's there at the Pensacola Bay Center as well?
Yep.
Wow, insane. Last question for you, Dean. Is there going to be more potential super fights, epic shows that you will put on in the future?
Of course.
Wow.
Of course.
There we go. That's all I wanted. We'll get into more.
Look, my only goal in life is to make my next show better than my last one. So, remember, yesterday's home run won't win today's game.
I'm going to remember that saying. I might use it once or twice. Dean, I'm going to see you tomorrow is weigh-ins. Saturday is the show itself. The day after is Father's Day. So let me be the first man to say happy early Father's Day to you.
Happy
Dean,
Father's Day to you also.
Appreciate it, my man.
Oh, we will be doing a post-fight, like a post-fight scrum with all the winners from the main card.
I wish.
So you'll be able to put that out on Fight Bananas.
We will. FightBananas.com. It's been on fire lately. Instagram, YouTube, so Twitter as well as Facebook. But FightBananas.com is the mother site. Dean, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. We'll see you very soon.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right, brother.
All right, guys. That was it. The interview the world's been wanting. The mixed martial arts world. Dean Toole in the hot seat, going bananas. We can't appreciate him enough. Guys, it's Saturday. It's here. Check out FightBananas.com for the whole weekend. Exclusive pictures, interviews, and articles. It's going to be insane. It's going to be bananas. We appreciate it. At the end of this show, I'm going to put on the promo video. Not a lot of people in the world have it. It's going to be on it right now for you guys to listen to it. Stay blessed. Have a great weekend. Don't drink and drive.
My name is Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. I'm from Miami, Florida, born and raised here. I love this. I love to compete. I love to grapple. I've been grappling, obviously, my whole life as well.
My name's Anthony Showtime Pettis, UFC lightweight, welterweight, featherweight. I fought in every weight class in the UFC around my weight class. Martial arts is my life. I've been doing martial arts my whole life, pretty much every day.
And I think Pettis actually is a stud grappler. He has some good submissions over some guys that I know are sound grapplers, like Gilbert Melendez and Ben Henderson. He made both those guys tap. So I know Pettis can be extra clutch. If there's something, the number one attribute I'd give to him wouldn't be power, speed, or toughness, or strength. It'd be his clutch ability to pull huge wins off when he needs them. He could just find a way to win.
I grew up watching George fight on the internet, watching him fight with Kimbo in the backyards in Miami. So, I'm a fan of George. Me and George know each other. We definitely had the same management, first-round management. It's one of them guys I've been around for a long time. I respect his skill set. I don't know much about his grappling game. I've seen him, obviously with punches it's different. I'm interested to go test my skill set. I know he's a game guy. He always comes to fight.
I'll just wear him down. slow him down physically, then mentally, and then he'll just give into my will. It's not a question in my mind, you know. He's, like I said, he's very good. I respect his skill set. He's a very strong competitor, especially with the submissions. But I've never walked into a grappling match or a fight thinking that the other guy's better.
I most definitely think I got the advantage over George. I think he's definitely a tough guy, but when it comes down to the skills and to the actual techniques, and I've put the time in, I've earned my ranks, and I'm very confident in my submission skills.
I'm always betting on me, and if I'm wrong, so be it. Let's find out, you know, but I'm going to give it everything I have in me to make sure I come out with the victory, you know?
So, you know, I'm excited to go out there and show off.